You're a lousy fucking softball player, Jack!
You boys are going down, Danny. I can't stop it anymore.
Welcome back to Thinking Critical. This is Wes, and I don't normally cover like internet spats and stuff like that, not at least real time. I'll talk about them, after the fact or maybe in the context of a bigger story. But I literally just covered this topic with Aaron Sparrow on the channel on a video called, separating art from artists, where is the line? And today, Gerry Duggan kind of went out and just laid some real nasty insults on people. And with me to talk about it today isn't Aaron Sparrow. He's busy, but we got a great replacement. My good friend, Doc. How you doing, buddy?
I'm good. Just laughing at industry hacks doing industry hack things.
It's really weird. It feels like we're back in 2017, 2018 all over again, where industry pros are acting like juvenile assholes, insulting people left and right. It even started before all of this crisis started. They all of a sudden just kind of started turning people you hadn't heard from in months or even over a year. All of a sudden started showing back up, and they're insulting people again. And I guess Gerry Duggan decided to get in on the act now.
I'm not terribly surprised. Look, I kind of warned about this when we talked about the Sean Gordon Murphy and Doug TenNapel thing, and getting Sean to back down, and then they immediately went after Blake Northcott. You gave him a scalp. They puffed out their chest like they were actually strong again, and you reinvigorated them by giving them the scalp that they wanted. Him getting pissy with a fan. Well, not even a fan, just a reader from somebody that didn't actually even tag him and literally just rolled his eyes at a bad announcement. It's peak 2017. I feel like I had a head trauma.
All right, well, let's not talk around. Let's get, we'll get to the end insult where he really lays it on this guy named Mechmaster. Don't know who he is. He's not a follower of mine. It seems unremarkable on Twitter. Yeah, it has a few followers, not a big name or anything, but he called Gerry an asshole. We're going to tell you why that. We're going to start at the end first, and then we'll get to why he called him an asshole, which in my opinion, was well deserved. And then Gerry Duggan comes back with the insult: eat a bag of pre-fucked dicks, but nice grammar. Just so weird. Like when you look at, in the military, I like to talk about my military experience. We learn about the laws of armed conflict, and one of them is the laws of proportionality. Like this is very unproportional to what this guy said to him. And once we go to the beginning and when viewers, if they haven't seen this in their Twitter feeds, if they're not on Twitter and they see where this all started, your jaw's going to drop how it got this far, because it's just ridiculously stupid. It is so strange when these guys, whenever they decide to start insulting fans, it's always like, feast on my ass, eat pre-fucked dicks.
Yeah, it's something weirdly homoerotic in a negative, meant as an insult. And aren't these people that are busy calling everybody else homophobic and transphobic and everything else?
They always go back to that. Like it's like the weakest insult ever. This is things that you heard on the playground, in third or fourth grade. And you probably don't even hear these things in the playground anymore, because kids have evolved beyond it. But these fucking middle-aged douchebags, like they can't get over the gay jokes. Like that's the biggest zinger in the history of the world.
I watched this whole thing kind of go down, and I was just like, I felt like Ron Burgundy, like leaning back going, well, that escalated quickly.
Let's tell the people where this started thing, because it's unbelievable. So
Yes.
Newsarama posted a tweet that said, Tennis Sword sets up the craziest X-Men story ever according to the group editor. Now, in there's a link to the thing, but there's no ats in that tweet itself. So if you don't realize that people are being tagged inside the picture, you wouldn't even notice that there was anyone tagged in it. You wouldn't know that Gerry Duggan, Jordan White, probably Jonathan Hickman, and some of the other creators associated with Tennis Swords are in there. But Marvel is always saying the craziest event ever, the biggest story ever. They're always claiming these stupid grand things, and they're always overselling things.
It's all overblown, overhyped, everything, and people are tired of it. So
when they send stuff like this out, people are desensitized. They're like, yeah, I bet it is the craziest X-Men story ever. right. Because it's not going to be. You just told House of X powers of 10. You're not going to get crazier than that. You basically shook up the entire X-Men universe, and there's been crazy X-Men stories told over time. They're always over-promising, under-delivering, but let's see where this escalates. So this is a stupid tweet. So then a guy named Nate Niles commissions opened. He's an artist. I believe he's an aspiring artist. I don't know that he's gotten any work in. I did Google his name quickly. I didn't really find a lot of work, but he is an aspiring comic book artist. He put out a GIF of Stanley rolling his eyes from The Office. Yeah. Everyone uses this GIF when you have an eye roll and you're like, oh, no, not again. Oh, please. Everyone uses this GIF.
Yeah.
It's a nothing burger.
This is just, okay, I don't believe you. I'm not interested. And Gerry comes back though.
Yes, he does. Nate, wishing you success on your continuing journey outside comics.
What the hell,
really
man?
Personal burn to say to someone that's an aspiring artist within the industry. Such a dickhead move from somebody that's a veteran in the industry to try and take somebody down a notch because they roll their eyes at someone over promising on the next X-Men event.
And this is him acknowledging, hey, you're not in the industry and I'm going to laugh at you because I'm better than you.
Yes,
I
he's
am.
Completely talking down to him like I hate this shit.
5 years ago, all of these people were, this Nate Niles commissions opened. 5-10 years ago, they were all that guy at some point, getting, guy or girl, trying to make their way into the industry,
looking for a
break yet. Yeah, and having it's Gerry Duggan. This isn't exactly like Jim Lee or, George Perez that you're insulting here. This is Gerry friggin' Duggan.
Well, he probably didn't even realize he was insulting anybody. Like I said, there are no ats in that tweet.
Oh, no.
Those ats are like, he probably didn't realize he was doing it. But even if he did, this is just punching down. It's being an asshole. It's being Gerry Duggan, apparently.
Essentially, Gerry Duggan essentially responded back with a neener, I'm in comics and you're not.
Yeah, he's just being an a-hole. Nate Niles does reply, haha, it's just they say this kind of stuff about every event title, and there's better stories coming from indie publishers, so I think I'll be fine. Handled it very well, handled like a pro. Certainly much more professional than Gerry Duggan in this. And then there was a reply that says, no wonder this industry is tumbling so professional. And this is one of my favorite responses. You ding-dongs don't get to show up in my mentions. He didn't realize he was showing up in your mentions. Because your name wasn't actually in the tweet. It was associated with the picture, dickhead. And keep your civilian status. You can say whatever the hell you want, anywhere you want, except in my mention or in the mentions of someone else. He didn't realize he was doing it in the mentions of someone else. And even if he does, this whole stupid civilian status thing cracks me up.
Go F yourself, Gerry Duggan.
like being a professional comic creator makes you some type of war veteran.
Yeah, I mean, do you get hazard pay for that, buddy?
They're 18-year-old kids just looking for an opportunity, in this world that are out there, that are in Iraq and Afghanistan, all around the world, forward deployed every single day. So this dickhead can go and insult people and question their civilian status when he's probably, I don't know Gerry Duggan, but I imagine he's never taken a risk like that in his entire life.
Oh, I'll put actual money on it. $5 if Gerry Duggan can produce that he was ever in any actual danger of bodily harm in any way.
But saying, you've revoked your civilian status or whatever, it's just stupid. It makes him look like a moron, especially when we've had young men and women deployed downrange fighting war every day for about 20 years now.
Yeah, him getting to claim veteran status. Congratulations, you survived the comics war of 2017. Go F yourself, dude. You're not that important. You've never done anything of any consequence in this entire industry. If your entire contributions to comics were wiped out tomorrow, nothing would be lost of value.
Talking about the things he's worked on, I know he had a long run on Deadpool with I know his last name is Lolly. That's the artist that he's working with on Marauders right now. Of course, he is doing 2 Dawn of X titles, Marauders and Cable. So he is somewhat important. Dawn of X is basically the golden goose at Marvel Comics right now. I bet Marvel's real happy that he's gone out there and put himself out there just like this. In these hard times when you really probably can't afford to lose any customers, he's going out there and just chafing people and rubbing them the wrong way, getting people maybe to drop that Marauders title or Cable title just out of principle. He also recently did Grim Noir with Ron Garney, one of my favorite artists, maybe my second or third favorite artist at Marvel, maybe my first. He's right there with Marco Cicchetto. He also did Savage Sword of Conan. He did a great story with Ron Garney there as well. So I don't think he's as bad a writer as you do. I think his stuff on Conan and Savage Avengers is actually pretty good. I think his stuff on X-Men sucks, but to act like this, be this smug and this arrogant, it rubs me the wrong way. Now, did he cross the line? That is absolutely a personal choice. For some people, he is going to have crossed the line. For other people, he's not going to have crossed the line. I can tell you this. I'm not reading Marauders and Cable because his writing sucks. If he has another one shot with Ron Garney comes out, I'm probably going to buy it to support Ron Garney because he's a good dude. It certainly won't have anything to do with Gerry Duggan.
I didn't say that he was a bad writer. I mean, maybe his Conan stuff's good. Maybe his Savage Avengers is good. I don't care. My point is that if you subtracted Gerry Duggan's existence from comics, not a single thing would matter. Nothing would change.
There'd be less bad jokes in comics.
Yeah, that was it. Nothing of consequence would change. He has not done a single thing that actually mattered. The fact that he wants to play Johnny Big Balls comic creator, that like he's super important, is laughable at this point. It's up for a little bit of debate whether or not he's crossed a line yet, but I think it's where it goes next that he really does cross a line. Somebody responds back after he talked about coming into my mentions because apparently that's a big deal. Somebody just said, look, dude, you're an asshole.
Fair response.
And because that's a valid response. But
Absolutely.
When he comes back with his, you can eat a big bag of pre-fuck dicks, but nice grammar.
Not only is he a fucking weirdo, but he's a grammar Nazi too.
Yeah. Because
like double strikes.
Hey, you use the correct form of your.
Mm-hmm.
Jesus Christ, dude.
You can see why his Marauders and Cable isn't very funny. It's not even a good insult. It's just basically being a complete dickhead.
Yeah, these people are all children, and it feels like between him, Ron Mars, Gale, all these clowns that have started coming out of the woodwork that we haven't seen since 2017, 2018. If we think back on it, Marvel and DC were DC less so, but Marvel was really floundering. They were losing ground, and it ended up costing Axel Alonso his job at the end of it. Everybody kind of stayed quiet because they realized, oh shit, we actually are on a sinking ship. And the ship starts getting a little bit righted. You and I did that video a couple of weeks ago where we talked about some of the things that CB has done right. Mm-hmm. And one of the things that we mentioned, I swear to God, it's like everybody's just doing something to invalidate that video that we did.
Feels like it.
Yeah. Because the only thing that I think that was left that had been fixed that we were talking about was creators aren't out there calling people racists and bigots and insulting them. And then we have the last week. It's a bunch of people that can't swim and are drowning. You're coming out there, you've been offering a helping hand for a while, and now they're just trying to drag you down with them.
I will admit we are in a very tense time right now. I'm certain that the creators are probably on edge, but now isn't the time to lose it. Now isn't the time to give back all the gains that you've gotten in the last 2 or 3 years, the things that, have been accomplished under CB Cebulski. I kind of feel bad for him. I think CB's not the greatest leader in the world, but he certainly made some improvements, but it feels like they're trying to give all that back for him. People are on edge. I completely understand that. Am I willing to forgive Gerry Duggan for his slight against these people? I don't know. Time will tell. It certainly doesn't feel good right now, but like I said, it's all a personal choice. Did Gerry Duggan cross the line in this instance? That is all up to you. I want to hear what, obviously what the viewers think. Please let me know in the comments down below. Did Gerry Duggan cross the line? Are you going to drop his comic books? What do you want to say to Marvel Comics? Maybe one of their pros will see this video and go in the comments and see what you think about this, and hear what the fans actually have to say about it, because it doesn't sit well with me. Obviously, it doesn't sit well with you either, Doc. And, it's just reprehensible behavior. And this is just the worst time for it because everyone's on edge. And people don't have access to new comics right now. This is a good time to actually lose a big chunk of readers.
It is.
All right, well, Doc, I think we've covered this well enough. I want to say thank you very much. Do you have any parting words before we wrap this up?
Comic industry, be better.
Be better, comic book industry.
Yep. Be better.
All right, be better. Thanks, buddy. I appreciate it.
Later, man.
If you enjoyed this video, please give it a like. I would appreciate it very much. It helps us attract more views for the channel. Subscribe for future commentary, comic book news, and reviews. And don't forget to ring the bell for notifications. If you want to talk comics, movies, and much, much more, you can follow me on Twitter at Wes_from_TC. With that, Salamat Po, and I'm out.